Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be making two really quick and easy Christmas cards using some water brush pens, some water paper that I've got taped down to a board, and also a water pen. So I'm going to start off just by taking these Zig pens and just scribbling some colour on, and you can see that I'm just scribbling that down and then adding the water brush and just blending each of those colours out. And for this first one I'm going in kind of a rainbow mix. So I went onto the paper, it was dry at first, and then I went over the top again after my first layer of colour and just blended that out some more. And you can see that I'm using a rag there just to kind of clean that water brush in between colours. Now if you don't have a water brush, you could of course just go ahead and use a regular paintbrush and a pot of clean water. However, I find it's just a little bit easier and quicker when working with a water brush because all of that water is contained within the barrel and you just squeeze the pen to release some of that water. And again, of course, if you don't have these Zig Clean Colour Real Brush pens, you could go ahead and use any kind of watercolour marker or watercolour brush pen, or also just regular watercolours as well. So for the second card panel, I've gone ahead and scribbled a whole bunch of blues, and I just kind of heat set that in between the first and second layer, and then I'm just adding some more scribbles and blending those out slightly. I'm not blending this out perfectly with the water pen because I want to leave some of that kind of scribbly texture in the background. Okay, so once both of my panels were completely dry, I went ahead and took my Misty and Merry Christmas stamp from Sam Says Stamp and stamped that down on the rainbow piece in black Versamark. And then while that was still wet, I added some clear embossing powder and heat set that. This will just help make sure I don't smudge it and also add some shine to the card. And then for my blue panel, I'm going to do something slightly different. I've got all of these rainbow stamps and I've just put my Merry Christmas down in the centre, and I'm arranging the snowflakes, did I just call them rainbows? The snowflakes down where I want them, and then using my Versamark ink pad to press that down. And then once that's good and sticky, I'll lift that out, and I'm actually sprinkling on some kind of glittery, almost like tinsely embossing powder. So you can see this really well at the moment, but as I heat set it, it almost turns clear and just leaves behind that sparkle, but you can still see it as you tilt the card in the light, so it's a really nice way to add some detail to this background. So I'm just using my heat tool there to heat set it. And then once that's all heat set, I'll place it back inside my Misty in the same spot, rearrange those stamps so I can fill in the rest of the space, and then repeat the process again, sprinkling on the embossing powder and then heat setting it. Now you do have to make sure before you do any kind of, or you move on to any step, whether it's embossing or just any other step with your cards, you want to make sure that that watercolour piece is completely dry, and you can heat set it to help that process along. So for the Merry Christmas in the centre of this card, I decided to use my white embossing powder, and I'm just heat setting that in the centre. So once I had both pieces done, it's time to make my card bases, and to do that I just took some Neenah Solar White and scored that at 4 1/4 and folded it in half, so I've got 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card bases. So I've got some white craft foam here, and I'm just going to apply some double-sided sticky tape onto both sides of the craft foam, and I'm going to use this to mount my watercolour pieces onto the front of the card. I like to do this when I've used watercolour because it does the paper tends to warp ever so slightly, so you want to make sure that you're covering the entire back of your watercolour cardstock with adhesive so it sits nice and flat on the front of your card, and it's nice to give that extra dimension of the craft foam in the background. So I've gone ahead and cut down each of my watercolour pieces so they'll fit nicely on the front of the cards, and I just need to peel off the backing of the double-sided sticky tape and add that foam onto the background. And then I'll go ahead and peel off the backing again and just centre that up nicely on the front of my card. So I will make sure to have links to the products that I've used in the description section below, and if you are interested in any of them you can go ahead and click on those links and it will take you through to where I bought them from. I do receive a small commission for this, but it helps to fund my channel, so if you enjoy the channel and you like my videos and you want me to be able to keep making them, it is really useful if you are thinking about buying these products if you go ahead and use those links. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing with this Merry Christmas rainbow piece, and I decided that I would round the corners on this piece just to give it something else a little bit different to set it aside from the other one. So I've gone ahead and rounded all 4 corners on the top panel, and then just to kind of mirror that effect, I've rounded just the bottom 2 corners on my card base, and I'm just using a corner chomper to do that. Okay, so I'll centre that up and press it down, and that is it for today. Two very different but very easy watercolour Christmas cards. I think both of them work really well. I like the kind of the blue kind of frozen feel of the one on the left there, and the really bright rainbow. Okay, so thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video, then please let me know by leaving a comment or leaving a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. There's a couple of videos on screen right now that I think you might enjoy. If you haven't already seen them, go ahead and click on the links, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.